Sasol are a massive South African chemicals and energy company. They work all around the globe, in America, Africa and Eurasia, and they've got their fingers in many pies in those sectors. Now, they've had a great run up, but things have stalled over the last few months in terms of stock price action. But if the energy crisis continues and all their products they're involved in continue to boom, have an interest, then they're in a great place for a potential move further upwards. So I'm going to have a look at that share price and see where they could be heading next. So with that, let's take a look at the analysis. So into the weekly line chart for Sasol, and there's three things I want to focus on here in particular. Now, the first one is this big recovery from May, well, call it spring 2020, and we can see that huge run up, about 1800%. So that's a pretty decent comeback there from Sasol back into this noise. Now, second point I want to raise is this area here. We can see the trend here. We had three touches over the longer term and a Fibonacci line here around that 51,000 mark. So I think that's going to be a key number. So if it can, like I say, push up into this zone, it might struggle to start with to get through there before it can push on back higher. Now, if things don't go according to plan, then have a look at the volume, that price over here. We've got this nice gap down here, so you can see all the volume, the highest volume is at this price at the moment. If it breaks around here, then we could be down to this next level, which is here, 29,000-30,000. So they're the three takeaways from the weekly line chart. Now, heading into the line break chart, for line break, if you are bullish and you want to get into this sort of trade, then around here we got two numbers: more conservative 42,500, more aggressive 37,700 area. So a couple of numbers for you to think about. Into the daily high Kanashi chart, what are signals showing? Well, down the bottom we have sort of a mixed bag. This one's longer term, more neutral. In the short term we've got that bearish play at the moment, and we can see volatility is already picking up above its longer term average, 45-46%. so that's an encouraging sign. There's a bit more action going in, but volume above that actually pretty flat, nothing special. So heading on to the price, our long-term probability power box indicator actually from these levels giving us a 71.8% chance of a fall in the price, and we tie that in with those institutional power zones, which are good for support and resistance, and we can see the price has been banging its head on those. So that could either be a reversal back down that way or use them as a break on upwards. So it's an interesting point at the moment. Now, the third factor we use with that is the trend. Had been green for a long while, been red, green, red currently at the moment. So if you're bullish, I'd wait maybe for a pullback in the price and then it's turned green, or look through these institutional power zones. But in terms of that setup at the moment, it's more of a bearish feel to it. But like I say, if it can break through those zones, then there's some good upside there as well. And our two line pink box setup, breakout setup in a sell situation at the moment. But we do have a really nice strong trend. Is this just a pullback to say this sort of more underlying trend before it bounces on higher? Use the technical analysis to time your way in. Now, if we go into the Req'd chart for a more closer look at the immediate price action, use a block size of 350. Our signals at the moment, again, it's a mixed bag of signals. We can see the longer term DMI there, for example, is a bit I'll call it weak bearish. down there, and we have our stochastics, short-term bearish and regression actually turning bullish, so a mixed neutral bag really of all the signals, so not really helping us much. So we head on to the price action. We can see that nice uptrend, bit flat, seems to be a key zone here, 36,000 mark, 61.8% Fibonacci line, so it is one of the major fib points. Got a lot of support around here, as we can see there in this messy zone here. Back historically as well, it's like to break up or break down from there. So this looks like a key level, 36,000, and if it can continue up and recover, first stop I think it's going to be 39,000-40,000 through that price action, then 43, 44 those highs, and then if it can get up further it's between 48 and 50. But do remember that the weekly line chart that we talked about earlier, and that really strong trend line around the 51,000. So also on the short term it's flagging up as a Fibonacci zone, so that could be the top in the short term before it, for whatever reason, tries to break through. Now to the downside, again it's that 36,000 the key level. If it can go through there, 34,000, 31,000 area, and then down to 29,000. So at the moment I would give it a more weak bullish or consolidatory feel, and it's gonna, you know, one to watch for the fundamentals to give it a push in either direction. So where can you trade Sasol? Well, if you've got a South African, you know, share stock account, then you can trade it directly there, or access to that type of market. But most commonly, you know, wherever else you are in the world, then spread betting CFDs, even in South Africa, if you want to, you know, go short the stock, you don't like it, I would use that as my recommendation, because you also get some decent leverage as well. Now South African stocks aren't available everywhere, and I have found them in my Trade Nation spread trading account. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to take a closer look at them. Costs nothing to open up. I use them for my own trading, but as you can see, a whole load of South African stocks actually, and Sasol Limited is there. Pulled up some of the detail, margin about 20%, so it gives you reasonable leverage there. But the good thing is very small trade size, so for small accounts it helps, especially you to get into the trades and not put yourself under any unnecessary risks. And like I say, it's good for going long and short, so it gives you options. So some ideas there for where you can trade the Sasol price action. So time to give Sasol a score, and based on the balance of the technicals that we've seen, I'm going for a weak bullish overall opinion at the moment. And if we are bullish, then I've got a couple of numbers for you in the top right hand side there using the 4-line break chart. As we can see, Heikin-Ashi Renko, bit of a mixed bag at the moment. Feels like a possible consolidation area before, you know, it makes its mind up where it's heading next. And if we can tie that into the fundamentals, or positive fundamentals, then there could be a good push on upwards. Probability power score at the moment telling us otherwise. It's looking more at a down move, but we time that more in if that eye turns red, a possible further move south. But don't forget those key technical levels that we looked at. Now in terms of targets, it's pretty decent to the upside due to tight stops, 6-1 and 11-1. Downside not too bad either. Stops a bit further away, and that gave us 1.66 and 3.26-1. But overall, weak bullish for Sasol. So Sasol is definitely one I would keep on the radar, especially if those fundamental conditions remain strong, and just use those technicals to time your way in. Now let me know in those comments below what you think is going to happen next to Sasol. Where's that share stock price heading off to? Now if you want me to have a look at any other South African stocks, please also let me know in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do. And want to talk further, we run a free traders club in Discord. I'll put the link in the description below for you to follow if you want to join. Totally free, and we cover off all things trading in there. And if you liked today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons. And all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching, good luck with the trading, and I'll see you in the next video.